downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's
got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
2-1 loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Ready, set, blue, ready.
The first carry down for Rob Kelly. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Winston. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
We're good. Lefty, lefty.
Play action. Now Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. You got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
He sets to fire deep. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Down the man inside, down the man.
They'll begin the drive with Sproles. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And a tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, other side, solid, solid.
On second down, here's Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And an early sack there for Tampa Bay. Charles, that is a welcome sight.
A sight for sore eyes, you might say, right? Just 22 sacks on the season in 2017. And what they're hoping, that some of their one-on-one guys can get home this year instead of having to scheme to try and get sacks.
And those 22 sacks last in the league a year ago. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Quan Alexander with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On third down, Winston. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
The numbers for Jeffrey from last week. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run with Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Sproles. And he's going to have the 1st down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
This is Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Come on now, Owen. Come on now. Let's go.
On play action, it's Wentz. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Levante David. Leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A very solid gain of 27. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler, Brent Grimes, brings him down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
Throwing now is Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Shotgun now for Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Get over there. Go.
They're going to run. It's Sproles. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
Right back to him on first down. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Hey, rip 5-2. On here. Down the man inside. Down the man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Well, the drive starts with Rob Kelly. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. And break, the tight end's got it. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Sproles. So a change of possession here on the punt. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to bring it down for a loss of 7. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now Wentz on third down. And Moore has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now Wentz, I think this is going to be a free play. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Offside, defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Bo Allen on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Dancing to his left. Hurts over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing his Wentz. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Ready? Blue lady.
Final play of the half here, Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start things out with a trip up to FedEx Field. Washington playing host to visiting Indianapolis. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Andrew Luck back and better than ever. 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Kareem Hunt, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. 2 touchdown passes there for the rookie, Sam Darnold. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys have the lead as we get you back over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa and rejoin Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to...
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he connects with Ertz. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Over the middle, complete. That's Wallace. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jason Pierre-Paul getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, it's Kelly. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield, because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. He got 29 yards that time.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Right back to him on first down. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run with Kelly. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's got Evans. And he'll be out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans?
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
Ready? Blue line, go!
Kelly to try to punch it in. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rob Kelly, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Lefty, lefty.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4.
46 down, man, 5-4.
Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here, because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. If they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A 1st down throw for Winston. It fights him off. And a catch right side by Evans. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Evans has it left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Sproles, the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll begin the drive with a jive. Ooh, with a juke. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now Wentz will keep it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Noah Spence in on the stop. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it Sproles. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Line. Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And once again, they go with Sproles. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now it's Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Lynch 5-3, Lynch 5-3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Lynch 5-3, Lynch 5-3.
Here's Ajayi. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Philadelphia, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers,